You same starters as last time?
No, we'll start Steph, Brandon, JK, Draymond, and Loon.
Last game you guys took 48 threes. I know you said that you want to be a high three-point team again. Is that number a big number to you? Is it in the ballpark of what you're looking for?
I don't necessarily have a number in mind. I just I want to take a lot of them, and I want them to be good shots. Obviously, we need to be better in transition. We should get more threes in transition than we have the last couple of years. We're working hard on that. Our points per possession in transition 2 years in a row been 26th, 27th in the league. So some of that is turnover. Some of that is we've got to do a better job as a coaching staff with our spacing and then in the half court, yeah, I mean we'd much rather have a three than a mid-range shot, but I like good mid-range shots too. So we're trying to find the balance.
Last game also you just played Steph and Draymond in the first half. Do you want to just do that again, or will they get extended minutes?
Yeah, they'll probably just play the first half again.
6 preseason games seems like a lot. I mean, do you like that many?
I think 5 might be better, but I'm not exactly sure. But I think maybe the Hawaii trip added 1 to what we had already scheduled. So it's fine. And the way we're approaching it is nobody's playing heavy minutes, so we're able to, have practices on either side of the games as well.
Your season ended in this building last year. You've talked about it some, but I know you don't want to overreact to a 1-game sample, but it did seem like that game, how it went, kind of altered y'all's thinking entering the offseason on how you needed to play, stuff like that. I mean, do you agree with that, I guess?
I don't know if it was just that game. I just think the feeling of losing and in the play-in and not even making the playoffs is pretty bitter one. And but I think we definitely recognized our flaws last year, and they were exposed in that game. So there is some truth to that, but I think it's more big picture.
All right, Steph Curry joining us now on SportsCenter. Steph, busy summer for you, making a lot of enemies in France and delighting Americans here at home. How are you feeling physically?
I feel great. Like you said, it was nice to spend 6 weeks with those guys, represent Team USA, get gold, had a little bit of break. Feeling, refreshed and rejuvenated, taking advantage of this preseason, getting our reps. We got good vibes over here, so it's crazy going into year 16. A lot of miles, but I still feel like I got a lot left in the tank.
You mentioned getting these preseason reps. A lot of young players, Brandon Podziemski and John Kuminga, Moses Moody, who you guys are going to be counting on more than you have previously. How is that working out in terms of them stepping into these new roles?
It's great. Obviously, we still developing our rotations and chemistry, knowing we have a lot of different guys that can fill roles. Like you said, some young guys stepping up, trying to take more of a prominent role. Me and Draymond trying to lead the charge. So we have to take advantage of this preseason. We're going to try a lot of different lineups, but it's about developing an identity on both sides of the floor. We have played a certain style for so long, and we still feel like that can win, but you got to, build that chemistry where no matter who's out there on the floor, guys know what to do, how we play hard, and just have fun. I think this year we can kind of just let loose and be the attacker all year, and we have to really adopt that energy. I think we're off to, obviously a good start in preseason, but, looking forward to this whole season.
Speaking of letting loose, Steve Kerr says he wants you guys to be a very high-volume three-point shooter. I know that plays right to your strengths. Who are the other guys who can help? I imagine Buddy Hield is a part of that now.
Yeah, being able to space the floor and shoot with our ball movement is key to create good offense. Like you said, Buddy, he's been shooting the ball at a high level, his whole career. DeAnthony Melton, healthy now, able to stretch the floor. BP, Brandon Podziemski, want him to take open shots when he has looks. Draymond, we want him to shoot. So, we have to be able to have threats all over the floor. I'm going to attract some attention and try to get my shots up, but you got to make teams pay. And we want to have confidence no matter who's rising up, you know, taking those looks. As long as we create good offense and good shots, you know, no matter who's taking them, that's good basketball. And we got to live on that this year.
One more for you, Steph. Entering year 16, what still keeps you excited about the start of a new season?
I love playing, man. Like the work over the summer is hard. You have to maintain that commitment to preparing yourself to, you know, play at a high level. And, you know, once you get through that and you lay the groundwork, the season is fun. Like, you know, competing with my guys, trying to chase, you know, another championship. You know that the ball is going to stop bouncing at some point. And for me, like, I love this environment. I love being out there on the floor. So you miss it over the summer. And, you know, when you're back out here looking forward to that 82-game schedule, like, you know, you're going to have, you know, just so much fun trying to figure out what this team needs to do to be successful. So locked in on that mission for sure.
All right, best of luck this season. Thanks for taking some time to join us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Steve, we've heard you talk a lot about how often or how much you guys want to shoot threes and shoot more threes. You know, I know you don't want to put a number on it, but you took 52 today, way over half of your field goals. Does that kind of resemble how you envision the volume being?
Yeah, because I think almost all of them were good shots, you know, and we're obviously not going to make 28 very often, but, you know, everybody was knocking them down, and they were in-flow shots. We had 34 assists, so the ball was moving, and it's a fun group to coach. Our new guys fit right in to our style, and our younger guys are getting better and better, and we've got a lot of depth. You can see that. We've got a lot of guys who can play, and they're all doing a really good job of, you know, putting the work in and, you know, just focusing on playing hard and getting better.
4 threes for Kuminga. I know you wanted him in particular to shoot more. What did you see from the shots he was taking, and just how did he look with that trio and small forward today?
Yeah, he knocked down his shots, and you know, that's what we've been telling him. You're open, shoot it, and especially if he's going to be a 3 with Draymond and Loon or Trace. So J.K. did a nice job running the floor and got in some foul trouble, but all in all had a nice game.
You've talked the last couple of years about just the NBA has become kind of like the variable game with the way kind of a variable game with the threes, right? If you have a hot night, cold night, that almost dictates everything. Obviously, you guys seem to be kind of even leaning into that harder this year. Like, from a coaching philosophy standpoint, like how much have you had to kind of get to this point that you're like, yeah, you know, 50-something threes a game, that's fine?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a slow burn. You know, it's really a gradual process. The league has changed so dramatically. I think Mike D'Antoni changed everything with the Suns back in 04 to, you know, 2010, whatever it was, that run where, you know, he started playing smaller and spacing the floor and shooting a lot of threes. But since that time, over the last, you know, 15 years or so, everybody is shooting more and more and more, and more threes. So the math just doesn't add up. If especially for us, we're not a team that gets to the free throw line much. So it'd be hard for us to win a lot of games unless we shoot high volume threes. And what I like about this team is I think we have, you know, even though we've lost Clay, we have more shooting depth. You know, we have, I think, more guys who can step in from one night to the next and make threes. So it'll be a big part of our team for sure.
How'd you like the starters with Brandon in there and Loon in there as well?
Yeah, those guys all did a good job. You know, Steph got off to the nice start. Brandon is a good fit with those. You know, if you're playing with that front line, you need playmaking to go along with Steph's shooting. And Brandon, he's gotten really good in the high screen. You know, he sort of is clever, gets people on his back, and then excellent passer, finding openings, you know, on the perimeter. So I like Brandon's game tonight, and you know, and then to come off the bench with that group, Buddy, and you know, Buddy was smoking tonight, and Melton is such a good player. Kyle Anderson, you know, I thought Moses played well. So we've got a lot of depth, and it's going to be a fun group to coach.
But Buddy's obviously always been a really good 3-point shooter. But where have you maybe seen him? I don't know, not any different, but where have you seen him maybe progress in these last few weeks with you guys in that sense?
Well, he's always felt comfortable playing this style. When he played here in Sacramento for Luke Walton, they were running a lot of the same stuff that we run, and the stuff we're putting in with Terry, the Portland stuff. You saw some of that in the second half, the flares, and Buddy's built for that. So I think he's very comfortable. What I like about him is that he brings great energy every single day. He's got a smile on his face. He's always laughing. Everybody around him is laughing. And he just works. He puts in so much time on the court, loves the game. So, again, all three of these guys that we signed, our fans are really going to appreciate watching.
I think to start the fourth quarter, you ran kind of a off-ball play for Buddy in the corner. It wasn't there. And then split action with Kyle in the post. I think it ended with Pajemski at the rim. Is that kind of an example of playing with a little bit more structure like you've talked about?
Yeah, so that was a Terry Stotts action. The Portland stuff that he ran with Dame and CJ. Part of the idea of bringing Terry here was that his offense resembles ours, but had more structure, based on personnel. And what was interesting about that play was it was all the old Portland stuff, and then we didn't get anything, and then it came back to the split game that we've been running forever. So that's what I like about some of the stuff that we're trying to add is it seems to blend well, what they did and what we've already done.
What did you like defensively tonight?
Not much. Yeah, not much. We've got to get a lot better at that end of the floor. Gave up several back cuts in the first half, a couple more in the second. They picked us apart a little bit with their execution, and I thought, we're trying some things in camp, and we didn't game plan. At this stage in preseason, we're not going to be game plan specific. It's more about concepts, and so there were some things that we gave up that we probably could have prepared for better. But I didn't love the overall defensive execution, especially in the first half. I think we gave up like 68. And then, of course, none of their starters played in the second half, so the game got a little bit easier. So the point total, they scored 44 in the second. That doesn't mean we were great defensively. They took their best guys out. So we've got a lot of improvement to make at that end, but I like our defensive personnel, and we'll keep working. We'll get there.
This is a conference rival and a team you always seem to kind of run into a bunch. I'm just curious, they're adding a major piece with DeRozan.
Yeah.
I know it's a small preseason sample, but what did you kind of think of, and what do you think of that fit?
Of the fit?
Yeah, DeMar kind of.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player, and, obviously a guy who he's one of the best closers in the league, and so he'll be great for them, and obviously they've lost some guys as well, and all of us are for the most part, other than a handful of teams, we're dealing with some changes, and we all have to kind of find our way and find our identity. But DeMar's a great player. I'm sure he'll be great.